We are back with a Fox News alert. Iranian state media saying a 26-year-old protester who is reportedly scheduled to be executed by the Iranian regime will not be sentenced to death.
And this follows President Trump warnings to Tehran to stop the killings. Lucas Tomlinson is live in Washington with the very latest. Hi, Lucas.
Well, good early morning, Carly and Todd. The UN Security Council set to meet today. President Trump's UN ambassador, Mike Waltz, should have a busy day. Keep in mind, Russia and China sit on the Security Council. And last night on Special Report, Iran's top diplomat urging diplomacy while admitting to Brett the U.S. destroyed its nuclear facilities back in June, but added the following warning.
My message is do not repeat the same mistake that you did in June. You know, if you try a failed experience, you will get the same result. Between war and diplomacy, diplomacy is a better way, although we don't have any positive experience from the United States, but still, diplomacy is much better than war. But it is up to the U.S. president to decide.
Iran's foreign minister said the scheduled hanging of the 26-year-old protester has been suspended. At the White House, President Trump says he was told there will be no more executions of protesters after human rights groups said more than 2,000 had been killed.
We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and it's stopped, and it's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or an execution or executions. So I've been told that on good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset, but that's just gotten to me, some information that the killing has stopped.
Iran's airspace is reopened after it was closed for more than 2 hours last night. For now, it does not appear U.S. strikes on Iran are imminent. Carly, Todd.
Lucas Tomlinson live for us in Washington. Lucas, thank you. Let's bring in former State Department Deputy Special Envoy and Iranian refugee, Ellie Cohanim. Ellie, thank you so much for joining us this morning. A 30,000-foot view. How significant is this moment for the people of Iran?
Carly, Todd, it's good to be with you. We are in a historic moment, I would say, not just for the people of Iran, but for our own U.S. national security interests. And Carly, the reason is that for 47 years since this radical Islamic regime grabbed power, they have undermined our national security in the region and came all the way at our footstep in Venezuela. They have the blood of hundreds and thousands of American service members on their hands. They have committed endless terror attacks. And Carly, you know, what's incredible to understand is that after the 12-day war, after President Trump took that bold action of, in fact, eliminating their nuclear program with our beautiful B-2 bombers in Operation Midnight Hammer, the Iranian regime could have licked their wounds and pivoted and started to think about how to rebuild their country and focus on that. Instead, they went right back to their nefarious activities. They went right back to rebuilding their missile program and right back to rebuilding their nuclear program. So when President Trump drew that red line for them, he already knew his options. I remember back in the first administration, President Trump warned the Iranians that he had something like 54 sites that had been identified as targets. So the president certainly knows his options. When he draws red lines, he's no Barack Obama. If I were in Tehran right now, I'd be preparing myself for some American retaliation. I think that the timing is yet to be determined. It's obviously going to happen when the president and our Pentagon and armed forces decide is the best time for action. Yeah. And of course, there's a broad range. There's a broad range of action that the president has at his disposal.
Well, Ellie, just drilling down on that a bit further, the latest comments from President Trump signal that he's taking a wait-and-see approach. However, at the same time, the U.S. just said that some people at military bases, they're withdrawing some of them from military bases in the Middle East, which could signal that there is preparation for escalation there, because Iran has said that if we strike them, they'll strike back on our military bases. So ultimately, what do you think the president does?
I think the president understands that our own, again, national security interests, after 47 years, being undermined in that region and truly internationally by this Islamic regime. We're at a historic turning point. This is no less significant than the potential fall of the Berlin Wall. If you can understand that if this regime collapses, you're talking about the leading state sponsor of terrorism, that country that has been pursuing this nuclear program and undermining us at every turn for 47 years. The notion that this regime could turn now and become a U.S. ally and help us in the region, and also stop giving free, cheap oil to China, stop giving the Russians ballistic missiles in their war against Ukraine. This is incredibly significant, and the president certainly knows this better than I and all of the national security experts. He drew a red line. He knows that American deterrence, which he brought back to the White House when he came back into this second administration, he restored it after 4 failed years under Joe Biden. All of that is at stake, and so, Carly, again, I have full confidence in this president, in this administration. They will advance our interests in the best way that makes sense for the administration and for our armed forces.
And finally, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff announced yesterday that the U.S. is moving to phase 2 of the Gaza peace plan, which requires Hamas to disarm and make way for an interim governing body. The timing here is significant given everything that's going on in Iran right now. What do you think about this?
Well, those issues are certainly linked because, again, Iran is the leading state sponsor of terror. They are the ones who trained and funded Hamas and had been planning October 7 with them for about 2 years, we heard reporting. So if Hamas sees what is happening with their sponsor state, they are definitely demoralized right now, and I think getting further incentivized to disarm as the Trump administration has demanded of them, and indeed to move to phase 2, which is what on Special Envoy Witkoff is working so closely with the Israelis and our partners in the Gulf region to do. So I believe that all of these factors today are actually showing us a much more optimistic picture for the Middle East as the Trump administration moves the region forward towards stability, towards peace, and really giving the people of that region a brighter future, which, of course, again, impacts our national security, allowing us to focus on our other adversaries like China.
Like you said, it's all linked. What a time, and we will see. Ellie, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time, as always.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.